Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Words for Life. My name is Stephen, and I will be your host today. Today, we're going to look at a quote from the book Man's Search for Meaning by Victor Frankl. And the quote goes like this: Everything can be taken away from someone except one thing, the last of human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in a given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way. This is a very, very powerful quote from this book. I highly recommend to go and read Man's Search for Meaning by Victor Frankl. It is a very powerful book, and it's some can be a little bit difficult to read. So, caution to those who might have a little bit of a weak stomach or a weak conscience. It can be a little brutal, but highly recommended. It does give some good insight into a man's search for meaning. So, going back to the quote, the idea behind this quote is that we all have the ultimate choice to control how do we interact with the world? How do we choose our mindset in our own way? Sometimes we feel that life's forces really change the direction of our life. But everything we do, whether action or inaction, is a choice. And mindset is no different. If we choose to be abrasive towards a certain situation, then it's going to show in our behavior, in our action, and the direction we choose in our life. If we choose a positive and a receptive form of mindset, we are more likely to embrace a certain situation, possibly even a change in our life, and really try and better understand what that situation is going to benefit us and in what way. This is really one of our ultimate freedoms because regardless of what life throws at us or the universe or whatever you believe in, we have a choice about how we react to it. What is our mindset regarding what is thrown at us? And I'll say thrown at us because many times life does throw unexpected things our direction and we have to deal with them. Life is not perfect. Life is full of challenges and situations that we don't always expect. Sometimes there is an accident that you're encountering in life, and sometimes there are situations that are unexpected. A sprained ankle, a car accident, terminal illness. Many of these things in our life are usually unexpected. We don't go out running expecting, okay, I'm going to sprain my ankle today. It's typically not normal to do that thing. Some people might do that, and we might want to have different conversations with those individuals. But in general, it's not. So as life throws whatever it can at you, it goes back to how do you perceive it? What is your mindset around life's throwings, so to speak? I highly recommend that you evaluate your own perception of how life is treating you. An interesting way to think about it is how is life treating you? But ultimately, it goes back to how are you treating yourself? If you walk around very abrasive or with a negative mindset, you will then probably have negative interactions with the environment, those around you, and the situations in your life. Because you are being abrasive and resistant to change, circumstances, and not necessarily in a good way. There are situations where you should be abrupt and abrasive to change if it goes against your fundamental values. So keep that in mind as we talk through this. If it's something that's trying to change your fundamental values and you don't want to change those, perfect time to be abrasive and abrupt and not accept them. But probably for the majority of other cases in life that things get thrown at us, being abrasive and resistant is not going to give you any kind of benefit. So by shifting your mindset and making that conscious choice about changing your attitude towards a situation, an event, an action, or even a person, it allows you to be more clear. It allows you to be more receptive to change. And it allows you to actually learn more easily. An open mind, being positive and accepting, can more easily digest and ingest information than a resistive mindset. So, do you want to carry around a negative or a blocking or resistant mindset all the time? Do you find yourself in situations where you oftentimes lean into that blocking of change? I would ask of you, if you do have an interest in trying to change that, evaluate your mindset this week. Take a look at what's encountering you, what is life throwing at you, and how are you going to perceive that? How do you currently perceive that? You can write it down if you want to. Sometimes writing it down is more helpful if you have a given situation that you are thinking negative about or you're resistant to. Write it down. Think about that and try and understand, why are you being resistant? Is it out of fear? Is it out of habit? Is it out of protection? Is it challenging your values? And are those values something you hold dearly? There are situations where, like I said, it's good to block and not accept the changes if they do try to fundamentally change your values that you hold dear. There's a good chance, probably at least 80% of the time or so, that they don't. And that it's probably a habit you've developed out of protection or a general resistance to change because of fear. So evaluate those things in your life, those events, those actions, or even those people this week that are challenging you and that you are blocking or you're being resistant to. When you go and evaluate those situations, take a moment to see, what can I do to change my mindset? What can I do to think more positively of that person, of the situation? What can I learn or gain from that? And see if you can adopt that mindset with that event. Once you've gone and tried to adopt that mindset with an event, see if you can proliferate that into other events in your week that you encounter where you do resist or you block again. Try and be more consistent with having that positive mindset and that choice of being a positive attitude, because it is your mindset that will really determine your way in life. The more you have a negative or a defeating attitude, the more likely you'll go down a path of self defeat. So, as we go through your week, try and do that evaluation. And remember, everything can be taken away from someone except one thing: the last of human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in a given circumstance, to choose one's own way. If you have some interesting stories regarding ways that you have adjusted your mindset and how you've chosen your own way and how it's benefited your life, please send them to me. I would love to hear about them. You can email me at attitudealtitudeacceptance@gmail.com. If you are willing to, I'd love to share those stories with others, as inspirational stories can inspire others to help make their lives better. If you have difficulty with your mindset and have goals you'd like to achieve and make better in your life, I do offer coaching services. So you can reach out to me via my website, which I'll have listed in the description below. Be more than happy to set up some time and see if there's anything I can do to help guide you to a more positive life, positive mindset, or towards some of the goals that you're interested in pursuing that you might be struggling with a little bit. I want to thank you for joining me on this episode of Words for Life. And please join me on the next one. Thank you and have a great day.